Hello, My Hero Academia fans and creative people. Alice here, and in this video I want to attempt to create a My Hero OC, and hopefully I can show and give you some inspiration how to make your own. Now, just a heads up, I end up drawing way too many pose pictures for this, so sorry if I talk too quick or too much to get through this lot. Now, I already had an image of the look of my character in my head beforehand, but before I get fully into drawing my character, the biggest part here, no arguments, is the quirks. Quirks are what make up this world and define everyone, and although some can be similar, they are all still different and unique in their own ways. And here's the dumb thing though. With so many possibilities, I just could not think of one to do on my own. Therefore, to help me come up to a decision, I needed a little bit of help from a quirk generator. Just go to this WikiHow page, like me, with the basic idea of what you want your quirk to be centered around, i.e. strength, speed, healing, elements, mind stuff, etc. Put in the little selection boxes and see what you get. With a few attempts, I get some ideas that I really like and start to get to it. The first quirk I ended up liking was something called empathic flow, a utility quirk that allows you to motivate and manipulate the emotions and motivations of those around you. Strengths and weaknesses are listed too, which makes things even better. Now, because this particular quirk evolves around transfers of emotions, I was wondering as a side effect if her emotions could play through her hair changing colour. I don't know why I like the idea of colour changing hair, but I took the idea and ran with it. And so to show this, I ended up drawing a few images of how I imagined her emotions playing out through her hair. As for how I went with designing my character, I looked at all the other female characters to see how I can differentiate my own. I noticed something interesting when it came to designing my character, looking across all the other characters, and that's the eye shape. Looking at Midoriya, Uraraka, Suchan, you can see how their mostly happy, bubbly, caring nature gives them big round eyes, whereas Bakugo, Todoroki, Ida, and Momo all have narrower, more squared eyes, based on them being more angry, more serious, and more strong-willed thinkers. So when I am designing my character and you're designing your own OC, don't forget to give your character personality in their eyes. Anyway, because I like the idea of my character being a bubbly character, I gave her big round eyes. I noticed that not really many female characters really seem to have big wavy hair, so I gave some to my character. As for the natural hair and eye colour, I'd started first basing it off of myself, but I didn't like the brown hair, so I changed it to blonde, because I always like blonde hair. And for the eyes, I'd started with grey, but I like deep blue colours, so I changed the eyes to a blue and went for them instead. When it comes to designing your OC, you can design them in different ways. Will you design yours around the quirk you receive, like Midoriya being green-haired and eyed with their green powers, Todoroki literally having hair to show his half and half side, or even more obvious, like All Might being huge muscles, or Suchan literally being frog? Or you could design your character normally, like Uraraka and her gravity powers, Momo and creative, etc. Think about what your quirk is and how it might look when it's being used. Clothing-wise, I didn't even think about a hero's costume until way later. Most of my drawings you'll see are mostly in the UA school sports uniform. Now, as much as I like this quirk, I saw it as a more secondary quirk, you see. I was testing out a couple different selections on the quirk generator, but I wanted first and foremost for my chosen quirk to be a strength combat quirk. I always love watching strong fighters, and I noticed that not a lot of females were full-on brawler types. Don't get me wrong, they are all unique quirks, and they are all really good with how they use them. Using the quirk generator again to help me narrow it down, I came up with a pretty interesting strength quirk, and this in turn gave me an idea for the fighting style.
I imagine someone who is a well-trained fighter, and because this quirk demands a lot from the body, I imagine someone who is quite flexible and athletic and is good at doing like the flippy flips, who is also a quick thinker and good at analysing their opponents.
So to demonstrate this, I looked up a bunch of fighting pose references and tried to use the best ones for this acrobatic fighting style. When it comes to your quirk that you choose, you need to think quite seriously on it. Can you describe the basic functions/uses of the quirk in just a couple sentences? Remember, what your quirk is needs to be simple to be able to describe. However, the amount of functions that comes with that could be 1, 2, or quite a few. Example, Shigaraki's quirk only comes with one function. Anything he touches with all 5 fingers will disintegrate. Kurichima's quirk lets him harden his body, which means he can both shield and punch back harder. Atsu's quirk is basically frog, however this means she can stretch her tongue out far, jump really high, secrete a poisonous fluid, camouflage and swim really well. Now, even if your OC's quirk has a few basic functions, don't forget, like with Class 1A and B respectively, we see how with quirk training, they grow their quirks to be bigger and better in the later episodes, develop new techniques and super moves, giving everyone new and interesting ways to use their quirks. Moving along, I struggle a little with remembering to keep my images to the My Hero Academia style when drawing. It's something I needed to practice a little bit more, but now that I got some fighting style images down, I thought to try and add a few more styles for my OC, as just being an acrobatic fighter would be a little bit plain. I think over fights I've seen, I wonder what moves could best suit this quirk, like power boost turning kicks, punches, front kicks. Then I expanded that onto special moves, like a ground-breaking slam kick and using energy and 100% focus to use a move of simple dodge. So to further flesh out your character, remember to create moves and various actions for them. Think about how they'll use them. What moves could your OC perform with what they have? How might they fight or help out? Will they scan the area for bad guys? Could they heal people in battle?
Could they perform an awesome 2-move combo, like you raise your head, stun them, and then beat them? So take a good long look and take a good long think and see if you can come up with any various possibilities of special fighting moves specifically for your character.
After trying to come up with a few basic special moves, I looked over all my pictures and realised I hadn't even drawn her in a school uniform. Honestly, I was so bad at remembering the clothes. So I added on an extra model on the starting page and then added a text box to give the basic rundown of my character, like the Season 2 break scenes. and with the logo added on top. That is the first part of creating My Hero OC
complete.
There's a couple of things I still need to finish off, like creating a hero outfit, possible backstory, so we all love a good origin tale. And with that, I hope you enjoy my drawing session, and I also hope that maybe I've given you an idea and inspiration for your own OCs. Hopefully. Hope to see you next time. Boku no Hero Academia!